Welcome back. The House Select Committee on Benghazi released a report yesterday, very highly critical of the Obama administration and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in their response to the attack on our consulate in September 2012. Here's how Mrs. Clinton reacted to the report.
While this unfortunately took on a partisan tinge, I want us to stay focused on what I've always wanted us to stay focused on, and that is the important work of diplomacy and development. So I'll leave it to others to characterize this report, but I think it's pretty clear it's time to move on.
That would be convenient for the former Secretary. Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano says what's important about the report isn't the incompetency it highlights, but the criminal actions that it doesn't mention. I spoke with the judge earlier on the subject.
This animates the base. This animates the Democrats to criticize the Republicans in the Congress, and it animates the Republicans to vote for anybody but Hillary.
Yeah.
The question is this appealing to the middle? I suggest to you that it is, because it is another chapter, a documented chapter with every T crossed and I dotted about her lying. So she initially learns truthfully what this is. This is an organized terror attack on an unprotected American outpost at which the U.S. ambassador is present. There's a lot of intelligence.
She admits that to the Egyptian prime minister.
Correct.
The next day.
Correct.
She says it has nothing to do with the video.
She admits it to her daughter within an hour of learning about it.
Yeah.
She then sends an email to the entire State Department with the myth about the internet video. Then she tells the truth to the Egyptian ambassador. Then she tells the lie about the internet video to the families of the 4 victims in the presence of their bodies, as their bodies are being reverently removed from the belly of a C-140 at Andrews Air Force Base. Now, back to the first lie, when she told the State Department. She caused panic in the diplomatic and intelligence communities, almost every one of which knew this is absolutely not true. Why are we going with this false narrative? So now the question, who in the diplomatic or intelligence community would want to work for her? Let me back up a little bit. Big picture now. Where did the arms come from that killed Ambassador Stevens and the others? This is Hillary Clinton's private war, conceived by her, approved by the president, endorsed by members of Congress, a select group, about a dozen, both houses and both parties. What was the methodology for the war? Allow the Secretary of State, Mrs. Clinton, to issue waivers to the UN arms embargo on Libya, not to arm the government, but to arm militias. CIA says...
What are militias in Libya?
They're terrorist organizations.
Exactly right.
And Kennedy, the CIA told her about this. They begged her not to do it. They said these arms are going to come back to harm us. She was indifferent to the CIA advice. Now, fast forward 6 months later, where did the arms come from that killed Ambassador Stevens and the others? From the waiver to the embargo that Mrs. Clinton had authorized. What do you call arming a terrorist group in American law? A felony. It doesn't matter how noble your goal might have been. That is what the committee missed. That is what you will see if you read between the lines in the dissenting Republican report.
And here is a woman who stood up after that attack on that nightclub in Orlando and said we have to keep guns out of the hands of terrorists. Yet that's exactly what she single-handedly did. When will there be accountability?
Well, there probably will be some form of accountability at the polls if she's the Democratic nominee, because the case against her, I know it's another topic, but it keeps getting worse and worse.
Okay, let's talk about the email. We've only got about a minute left.
Okay.
Is there anything to suggest, is there any evidence that somehow Ambassador Stevens' whereabouts were compromised because they existed confidentially on her email server?
Yes. Yes. We know that there were emails on her server with his itinerary on them. We know that she was hacked. We don't know if that very email was hacked, but we know that she was hacked. I'm going to make a prediction. She's going to get in trouble with a federal judge appointed by her husband before she gets in trouble with the FBI, and he may make a referral to the Justice Department to indict her for perjury, for lying under oath to him, claiming that she gave all the emails back when we now know she didn't.
All right, very good. Thank you so much, Judge.
You're welcome.